Welcome. What's up, everyone? This is Ryan here, the Crypto Grinder, and I realized that the whole market is melting. Man, that is just scary. Let's see what is happening on the global markets front. From 750 billion all the way now, it's down to 600 billion. Bounced off 550. Not too bad. Actually, it looks kind of, well, it's about time that we had some correction, right? So we had a whole bunch of news coming out. We had China basically banning cryptocurrency services or cryptocurrency-like services. They are saying that they're going to be stopping domestic access to centralized exchanges. So that's one concern. And I think majority of the market right now is struggling to see where is the direction. We had, of course, Korea with the first blow, where they had to regulate cryptocurrencies. And then after that, we have currently now we have China announcing that they're going to be stopping access to centralized exchanges. What do we do, people? What is the situation right now? I think the most important thing that we can at least try to predetermine is what to do in this kind of market situation. So let's take a look at Bitcoin and just observe what is the trend. Okay, so obviously now you're seeing Bitcoin sustain itself magically at 12,000 US dollars, right? So if Bitcoin is going to be at 12,000 US dollars, you are now at the support level. So with all this FUD going on, should you even be stepping into Bitcoin? I would say that I'd rather you wait at the sidelines, because I think when it was at 14,000, I did mention why not wait. Why not just cash out a good 30%? So that was what I did. 30% exited the market. I didn't continue to keep it invested. I just had that feeling, right? So I said, okay, exit 30% of whatever cryptocurrencies that I had. It was at the high at that point. Currently now I have that option to probably go back, but I think that the market weakness is going to continue until beginning of Chinese New Year, or at least during the Chinese New Year period, and then it will start forming and finding support, especially Bitcoin, during the Chinese New Year period or slightly after. This is just my take, because the Chinese are going to be having a 1 month long holiday in China, and yeah, this is what's going to happen, man. Okay, so let's take a look at our cryptocurrencies of late. So we have Kyber Network now down to the 29,000 Satoshi mark. I did mention that Kyber Network is a decentralized exchange that is built on the Ethereum platform. That is quite highly anticipated, is one of our CG picks. Sticking by the rule of picking it up, and I sold quite a bit of Kyber Network at the 36,000 Satoshi mark and the 38,000 Satoshi mark. Just felt it was running too hot when I gave the call at 14,000 Satoshis. Alright, so right now having a very nice healthy correction. Could it go down lower? Yeah, sure. You know, this kind of levels, this kind of market scenario where all the weak hands are being pushed out, it is best to also leave the market first. Then we have Quantum against BTC. As you see, Quantum has had a has a huge discount as we speak. From a 1 hour chart, it looks pretty horrible, but if you look at it from a 1 hour chart, practically nothing. You know, it looks to me very well sustained. I'm surprised. I did get my lowball order, as you can see, right? I didn't queue too low, guys. Although this was 317,000 Satoshis, I didn't queue too low. I actually was a bit worried that I wouldn't get it, so I queued a little bit higher at about the 320,000 Satoshis. I really got it. So I'm very happy with that, just accumulating Quantum. So the whole video is about stacking it up, and also stacking it up and staking it. Especially in this current market scenario, right? you want to be able to have the flexibility of accumulating, right, growing your cryptocurrency portfolio during times like this. So why did I ask you guys to have a 1/3 portfolio in cash, 1/3 portfolio in BTC or Ethereum, and 1/3 into altcoins? This is the reason, because we are going to have corrections like this over and over and over again, and don't forget, when Bitcoin dies, or at least it's melting in terms of value, so does the whole value of your cryptocurrency portfolio. Now, most of your cryptocurrency portfolio is being tracked in US dollars. So when it's tracked in US dollars, you will see a huge dip. Also, if it's tracking in terms of Satoshis, also obviously a huge dip, right? So take note that solid cryptocurrencies will usually stand the test of time. Now, NEO has been doing very, very well of late. So I think highly anticipated, because there are quite a number of projects that are going to be out. Their ICOs are going to be out, so that has sustained the price. I think currently now it's at $165 to about $172. Against BTC, of course, is doing very, very well. So if you were in that particular cryptocurrency, you would have been doing very, very well. So Quantum, on the other hand, is same old for me. Nothing much. I wouldn't say it's much of a discount for me either, because it's at it's at 359,000 Satoshis as we speak. So from a Satoshi level, not much of a discount for me. Now, Ethereum against USD was actually slightly below $1,000. I think that was really a nice money grab at that point. Okay, but Ethereum has ever since regained the $1,000 mark again. Quite disappointing if you ask me, because I went to take a nap, came back, thought that I would see a very much lower Ethereum. Now it's still, $1,000 over dollars. I'm not sure whether you'll go back to 1,002, but the support level seems to be holding, guys. Looking at the charts, 1,134 support. The support level looks very, very good at the moment. Now, Dash. How is Dash? Well, the reason why I'm even looking at Dash, or at least I decided to take a look at it, was for the fact that usually in most circumstances, especially these kind of circumstances, masternodes actually do very, very well. When you talk about masternodes, I think I can think of Dash, and Dash has so-called been the master of masternodes, right? They're one of the very first masternodes that came out, but I guess it kind of took a beating of late as well. Let's check out the one-day candles. One-day candles, well, it's okay, I think it's okay. Around 20%. Yeah, no, around 15%. Not too bad, right? 850,000, 8.5 mil Satoshis to 6.8 mil, 6.87 mil Satoshis. It's okay, man. Then of course we have BTC USD, which I had highlighted just now. I think BTC USD, being that 12,000 seems to be that very favored support. I think it's gonna continue to maintain around there. The market seems to want to hold it around that level. So who knows? Will there be more further upside from here? Will you consider buying more Bitcoins at this price? Well, I think it's always good to be cautious. Ladder your buy-ins. Now, to explain a little bit more about my stake it and stack it. FUD cakes are going to be thrown at us over and over this year, right? I think always the Chinese side and the Korean side coming together is really a huge blow to the cryptocurrency markets. There's nothing that we can do, but the most important thing is that we stay emotionally sound. Because if you're coming in with borrowed money or money that you can't afford to lose, I'm very, very sure that when this kind of thing happens, you're gonna panic. The whole world is melting around you. You woke up, your whole portfolio looks bad because you've never experienced it before, because you're considered new money, right? So if you're new money to the system, then I'm sure you're looking pretty sweaty at the moment. And yeah, as long as you bought into cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, more or less, you're not going to be too worried, okay? You shouldn't be too worried, because it's just the way it is, right? Even those top 3 cryptocurrencies that the whole world is introduced to will will also suffer some downside, right? Because this is, you must understand that right now regulations are looking in this space, which is actually a good thing, because if regulations and governments don't feel threatened by us or this space, there's something wrong, guys. Also, why are they even bothering to try to regulate this space? Because it's lucrative, right? If it wasn't lucrative, people wouldn't even care about it. And there are hedge fund managers that are stating that, oh, cryptocurrencies are too volatile and they are worth nothing. It is just basically one person buying something from the next person at a higher price, while stocks is doing very, very well. Stocks is the way to go. Stocks is easily accounted for because it can be audited. I think that's a whole load of crap. Because let's say, for example, even if stocks were audited, right, and it's listed on an exchange, does it mean that it cannot default? You mean you're trying to say that your accounting books can't be cooked by an accountant so that you can list it? Come on, man. There are people who lost money in the stock market, right, just as much as people who are losing in the cryptocurrency market. So don't come and make the cryptocurrency space look bad just because you have zero knowledge about this space, man. And you know what? If your clients actually found out how much returns they could be getting on an annualized return and the kind of returns that you are generating from a hedge fund manager's point of view, I think your clients are going to skin you alive, because you've been sitting on that management fee for the longest time, not producing the solid returns for them because the whole stock market is just boring, right? Or you're not even in the futures market or anything that is leveraged, okay? Your clients are basically trusting you enough to look for the next best thing, and you are denying them from the fact that the cryptocurrency markets are actually doing very, very well. You know, it may not be something old school, but it's something that definitely can generate money. So if you're not helping them generate a good ROI, I don't think that you're a very good hedge fund manager, man. All right. So now back to the stacking and staking. So as I mentioned, the 33%, and 33% engagement, right? This whole market, right, has opportunities for you to actually sell to US dollar tether or to fiat, and then allow you to come back in. All right. So that way, that method alone is called stacking it, because when you sell into a profit, obviously you're exiting the position completely, and you are probably in BTC or Ether, right? You pick your base cryptocurrency that you like to return to. After that, you may choose to obviously re-enter that particular altcoin. For simplicity's sake, let's talk about that particular altcoin. Say altcoin A, okay? And you bought altcoin A cheap and you sold it at a high. Simple as that, right? After that, when you decided to take profit into it, you have this stack of BTC or Ethereum, and you can choose to re-enter into altcoin A at a cheaper price, buy back more of those units, or you can buy back the same number of units, and now you have a stack of Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? So that way you are either stacking up that favorite altcoin or you're stacking up more Bitcoin or Ether. So it depends on your strategy. Now the next thing is staking. So staking is basically a proof of stake, delegated proof of stake. It's a consensus mechanism or algorithm, as they say, that each unique Bitcoin cryptocurrency blockchain has, right? Staking obviously means that you are going to be putting your coins on a wallet that is developed by the core developers within that particular project, and as you allow your coins to mature on the network, you are going to get more free coins. How are you getting these free coins? Basically, you're either helping the network create new blocks or validate transactions. So this way, you're actually getting a so-called passive income based on the kind of consensus algorithm that you have. So in my example, for example, I'm staking Quantum. So every other day or every day, depending on the network's weightage, right? I'm pitted against the network's weightage. So if I have an X amount of Quantum, naturally I will be able to build up that. Oh, no wonder one person is watching. What bollocks is that? Okay, shit. No wonder no one is seeing my view. Right, okay, it's unlisted. Oh, Yeah, the one is seeing Daddy, and Daddy has been talking for 1 hour. Nah. What's up, everyone? Can you all hear me? There's only one person watching. I wonder what's wrong. Yeah, that's right, man. Nobody's here. Oh, okay. I think I know why. Maybe might have to even start the stream. It's very strange. Yeah, I can see your chat, man. Okay. Guys, I had a very interesting conundrum that happened to me. Right? I didn't realize that my stream was on unlisted, and then I went live, and then it didn't so it was on unlisted, and then after that I realized it was on unlisted, and then I had to change the privacy to public. Tada! Here I am, guys. So I've been talking to myself. I've been talking to myself for like the past 15 minutes, which is okay. Alright, guys, welcome. So let's let the chat repopulate a little bit. The market has been very, very brutal, right? The market has been very, very brutal. So today is stack it and stake it, right? And of course, lots of FUD has been happening around the world. Well, not really around the world, basically specifically in Korea and in China. So we have Korea and China doing a double combo. We have Korea having its exchanges regulated. There was a possible ban. That is old news. And then after that, we have China stating that they are no longer gonna allow, or at least for now, that's the news is, it's not implemented yet from what I heard from the ground, but they are planning to ban domestic access to centralized servers, okay? To centralized trading exchanges. So we do not know whether their local bitcoins is gonna be affected. We do not know whether is there still going to be the IP connection to your Binance, to your Bittrex? Are Chinese residents going to be denied that? For now, no. There's no word that they are not able to use. I've called some of my friends who are staying in China. They're still able to access their Bittrex or their Binance account. But if that happens, obviously it's going to be quite painful. But when there's a will, there's a way. It's just that a lot of that liquidity is going to be drained from the market. As you can see, that is kind of happening right now, because if China decides to ban, domestic access to centralized exchanges, right, then obviously people cannot get out their money. I think I've covered that in the previous episode with regards to selling your Bitcoin and selling your Ethereum. And if this happens, how are you going to do that effectively, right? Everything has to be done OTC. So banning means that, if you no longer even have access to that website, obviously you're going to pull it out, right? You have to pull off your Bitcoins from the exchange. So a large part of this, right, I'm still wondering whether when you pull your Bitcoins from the exchange, does it also constitute to a drop? Because right now, no one knows whether or not the Bitcoins are being traded, because the API is all accounted for, right? But in my thoughts are, you have to sell your Bitcoins to US dollar in order to have this kind of dip as well, right? Taking away your coins from the exchanges doesn't constitute to the price dip, right? It's more of maybe a lack of circulation, because the coin is taken out of circulation and into a Legend NOS. But was there a sale? No, there wasn't a sale. So I'm still wondering whether the API captures it from that angle as well, but never mind. I think the most important thing is to just address the FUD. So FUD is going to happen anyway. Fear, uncertainty and doubt, especially if you're new to my video, you've never watched or you've never even experienced FUD before. This is first hand. I wouldn't say it's even bad, because, you know, we've had worse, right guys? So the market cap was previously at about close to 800 billion, and ever since then it kind of tanked. So we lost about 300, we kind of lost around 300 billion from reaching 800B, and then now it's currently stabilizing at or at least having a bounce up from 550 billion. So who knows whether this is the magical number or not, that we're going to find some support. Honestly, I'm not hoping for it, but I am hoping for at least a correction to maybe 350 to 400B. Just saying guys, because we need at least one of those 50% corrections in order for us to trend higher, right? Because you have to really bleed the market enough that you will want to bleed the market enough and really push out all the weak hands, right? It's just the way it is. The whales are always wanting to buy cheap. And what better way to buy cheap than to really push the market, the whole market down, right? Sell off everything. Everyone exits in panic, right? Because the whales will always exit first, then followed by all the ones who are very, very new. Now, if you're someone who's just bought and you don't even know what's happening, right? Great. Don't even bother looking at your portfolio, right? Just don't even bother what the price of Bitcoin is, because you bought Bitcoin, you bought Ethereum, you bought Litecoin for the fact that you just wanted to participate in this whole decentralized currency, or at least the space of blockchain and smart contracts and blockchain. So if you're on that level, great. That means you don't have to care about the price, man. But for I think a lot of people, they're very worried, like, oh, you know, this is the first time they're experiencing, especially if you came after July, you probably had quite a nice bull run and you never experienced the China FUD before. This is like kind of a little bit of a first hand. I wouldn't say it's even scary at all. So let's look at the various prices, and then let's look into the various cryptocurrencies, that what has been happening. So very interestingly, in the past 1 hour, there seems to be, you know, a lot of recovery. Okay, practically all the cryptocurrencies are enjoying everyone except BitConnect. Okay, so all the cryptocurrencies now, right? As you can see, in the past 7 days has been pretty brutal. Ripple has lost 36.94%. Bitcoin has lost 17.75%. Ethereum actually pretty good the last 7 days, but I think the last 24 hours was pretty brutal for Ethereum. Then we have Cardano losing 16.8%. Cardano losing 22.89% in the past 7 days, but in the past 24 hours it lost 19.47%. We have Bitcoin Cash losing 16.8% in the last 7 days. Then we have NEM. Okay, NEM, losing 26%, roughly around there, guys. In terms of a whole cryptocurrency pullback, when Bitcoin bleeds, you notice that the multipliers are more for the cryptocurrencies that don't make sense as much, but majority all are taking a hit. Then we have NEO that's doing very, very well. The past 7 days, NEO is spectacular, man. For those who are in NEO, who have held NEO, looks good, man. I mean, because of the ecosystem forming up, I think that is the real reason that is really sustaining NEO. And if you are someone who is a NEO holder, I think you are celebrating, shouting through the streets naked, popping champagne, because when everyone is bleeding, you are doing well. And yeah, you know, look, even if NEO was having only 15 nodes or 30 nodes and looking more centralized, I think there's still a smart contract platform that is one of the strong contenders in this space. That cannot be denied. Then magically we have EOS as well, but unfortunately in the past 24 hours, EOS has also taken a hit, lost 19.88% of its overall market cap. Still kind of okay, $11.27. Then we have Dash. Surprisingly, I'm very surprised that Dash, being the one of those masternode coins, is actually taking a hit in this market as well. So that means it's pretty bad, guys, because usually in most circumstances, right, masternodes actually function very well. masternodes function very well in the markets during FUD, especially these times. But I'm surprised that Dash is actually taking a hit. Okay, then we have, of course, Tron. Tron has lost 57.25% ever since the high, going down very, very quickly, and then past 24 hours even lost 23.74%. Monero 16.14%, and then in the last 24 hours losing 15.46. Okay, okay, give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So then we have Quantum. That is actually holding up so-so, lost 20% as well. We have Icon losing 28.55%. So Icon fans who are doing dollar cost averaging and Quantum fans who are doing dollar cost averaging, now is a great time. 20% discount is definitely a no-brainer. Just pick up some, ladder your buy-ins. Lisk 20%. Rye blocks, you know, I think recent out of the market blockless kind of cryptocurrency. I'm not sure why is it even called Rye blocks if it's blockless. So 33% down, but very new. Omisego 20%. Yeah. But you know what, guys? The list goes on, but there are now there's still 36 unicorns, guys. That means they lost 20% of their market cap, but they're still over 1 billion. They're still over 1 billion. So the whole market is still actually very well capitalized. Okay, the whole market is still very well capitalized. So with this being mentioned and this being said, right, I think this market is going to be more robust, more resilient in the next few months. Okay, because the news already hit, guys. The news already hit. So now it's just a choice. Now the big question is, Ryan, do we buy now? Right? No, you shouldn't buy now. You should wait for consolidations first, right? So let's maybe go to a chart for further clarification. So having this very strong, huge sell down that occurred in the past during the day, right? You probably want to observe whether in the next few days do you see a weakness in the bears, right? If you see weakness in the bears, as you can see this histogram here, this histogram here is having a very large volume of selling happening. So you have to be very watchful that if you re-enter the market now, you might still be on, you might be caught in the middle. That means it's still finding the floor. So unless you're very okay to buy at 12,000, which is obviously a current support, but why go in now? Why don't you go in later? So I look at probably 11,000 or even 9,000, between that range, and if you can kind of pick that kind of sweet spot, will be much better for you, especially if you're in USD Tether. Had you listened to my advice a little bit earlier, that means we're talking about literally probably Monday or so, if you had bought into your USD Tether or having cash on hand, you would have actually bought your cryptocurrency 40% cheaper, or at least, no, not 40% cheaper, 20% cheaper, which isn't a fantastic discount if you think about it. But there was this very sharp sell down, which was, let me see, this sharp sell down occurred, what's the low? The low was 10,060, 10,620. You know, it was one of those things, right? Like, had you queued, like magically, you would have queued at 9,000, so you obviously wouldn't have gotten it. So if you had probably queued at maybe 10,005 or so, you may have gotten some of your orders filled, because it depends on what was the situation and how fast the recovery was, right? Okay, so that is one thing. Now, of course, the market is sustaining at 12,000. Okay, the market is sustaining at 12,000 at the moment. Let's observe. Let's wait for a few more consolidations before picking it up. Now, I haven't gone into my strategy of staking and stacking, so just hold on first. Now, we have Ethereum. Same thing, man. Ethereum. Can you ask her to keep quiet? Okay, so Ethereum US dollar tether, right, is currently at 1,137, which is of course sustaining itself very, very well. So that means above the 1,001 seems to be a sweet spot. Now, it did go below $1,000, which was one of those very, very important price points. $1,000, and of course, ever since then it has recovered. Having such a strong volume, same thing, I rather wait a few more days before picking it up. Now, if you notice, this is a support level. So if you're a little bit more aggressive, I'd say sure, why not? Pick up some Ethereum now. It applies to Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin has been trading between a range of 12,000 to 14,000 for quite some time. This is one of those ranges that you can take note of. Now, Kyber Network, which was one of our picks, unfortunately has broken the support. Okay, which has broken the support. But in terms of Satoshi, right, it's below 30,000. I'd suggest waiting first if you're into the Kyber Network decentralized story. Now, I think if decentralized exchanges are going to function well and the UI UX is going to provide a very fair order kind of user interface where you can at least view all the orders from all the reserve managers, I think it's going to be quite good. So right now Kyber Network seems to be at that sweet spot at around 30,000 Satoshis. So just have to hang on for a while. Now we have, of course, Quantum. Quantum has been really doing very well, guys. I am just impressed that it has been holding up so well, right? I thought that it would have been now, you know, it did go below sub 50 very badly, but you know what? It's not even as cheap as I would have wanted it to be, honestly speaking. So those who are dollar cost averaging into Quantum and wanting to stake Quantum, now is a very nice time to use a little bit of that BTC and accumulate some of those sweet Quantum, and so that you can stake, right? Because when you stake, you get free coins. So I'll come to that a little bit later. Now, why am I putting out Dash? Dash has been the masternode coin of, you know, from ever since I think last year, when it was like $40, and then after that it shot up to $100 to $200 because of the whole centralization and functionalities of a masternode, right? And I think people who own a masternode get very nice returns for processing transactions. So that being said, I think everyone has been going on the trend. Whenever a cryptocurrency has a masternode kind of function, everyone goes crazy. Everyone quickly buys up those cryptocurrencies, and I think more often than not, they kind of sustain pretty well in a market such as this situation. So if you look at the price in terms of Satoshi, of course, it's not looking too hot, right? It's still maybe a 20% decrease as well. But most cryptocurrencies also did the same thing. So I'm just saying that if you had found yourself in those coins that have actually had some infrastructure and established something, I think more often than not, you're not going to get such a bad scare. Does that make sense? You look at Tron. Tron lost 50% of its original value in 7 days because it has nothing. Now, Cardano, on the other hand, seems to be sustaining pretty well as well, which is very shocking, because Cardano right now only, I think, has a mainnet. Because since Daedalus is up, that means there's only a mainnet. Now, will there be stuff being built on it? Of course, because, you know, Charles Hoskinson will definitely lead the team in such a way that they were going to push for development. But I'm not sure how fast in terms of what are we able to see. So probably SDK toolkits, and then eventually probably some kind of interface to communicate with other blocks, because it is hailed to be a blockchain 3.0 or Gen 3 blockchain, where you can have cross-chain communication and obviously swap, SegWit activation and whatnot. They're going to be more scalable. Who knows, right? We've yet to see what kind of technology it hails. So now, back to the very simple and very important stake it and stack it. So staking it is just very important, right? Staking is basically, in these times of fear, you are still able to generate a return. If you don't generate a return, right? If you don't generate a return during this time, especially, you have to have enough coins. You have to have enough coins to allow you to generate a return. So staking like DPoS, you have DPoS, you have like Quantum's POS, proof of stake. You are able to put coins on your wallet, which is developed by a developer, of course, by the Quantum developers, of course. Not any kind of wallet, not your Bitcoin wallet, not your Ledger wallet, not your Exchange wallet. Only the wallets that are developed by the Quantum network in this case, because I only stake Quantum, right? And then from then you can gradually just earn Quantum coins depending on how much you have and what is the network weight at the moment. So during this time, the best time is just to stake it, because when the whole volatility is just so bad, you are just panicking, right? If you are just panicking, you know, it doesn't help your situation from a mental state. You cannot function. I'm sure there are people who are just very, very worried, cannot focus at work because they committed too much too early and then this happened. I understand, guys. So staking it is just basically pulling it from the exchanges and putting it into the wallets and just enjoy collecting all that very nice free Quantum or free ARK or free Dash, whatever you're using to stake. Now it's definitely more efficient, less cost intensive than, it's less noisy, and also at the same time it doesn't eat up much electricity, especially when you're talking about proof of stake. Those who are miners, of course, miners seem to be having it a little bit more lucrative because, you know, if you came in a little bit early, you set up, but it's a little, obviously it's noisy, you have to control your airflow and whatnot. Different strokes for different folks, but that's one way. Okay, so I prefer staking. Now, for stacking is a little bit more on the technical side. So let me maybe I pull up some charts and then okay, let's say okay, everyone knows that I love to stack Quantum. That means my objective is to own as much Quantum as possible. This can apply to any coin, guys. You don't have to get Quantum. You can just use this strategy on any coins. So you are new to this space, you wanted to add more. During the time when the Bitcoin prices or the altcoin prices were doing very, very well, and you were in a particular altcoin, what you could have done was sell off into BTC or Ethereum and realize that profit. And after that, when you have your altcoin tank, like now, right? Your altcoin tank right now, you can use the Bitcoin or the Ethereum to rebuy into your particular crypto at a discount. So two things can occur. You use all of your Ethereum or Bitcoin to buy back more of your tokens, or you can buy back the same amount of tokens and have a stack of Bitcoin or Ethereum left behind for you to either convert to cash, to either grow it, that means meaning that you want to continue to grow a stack of Bitcoins as well. Rinse and repeat. So this strategy you can use over and over again. It's actually very, very simple, right? And you don't have to add more money into the system. Why am I actually focusing or at least talking about this? Because right now, nobody knows what is the situation for fiat entering cryptocurrencies, and most banks are very worried to work with cryptocurrency exchanges. So I'm not sure what's the situation in the US. Is it okay for you guys to transfer from your fiat into a cryptocurrency exchange? You know, is it easy? Is it easy for you to get money out? There are all these situations that are supposed to contend with. Also, there's the tax issues. So staking and stacking is actually one of a very, very simple and basic thing that you can use to actually grow your cryptocurrencies without putting in new money. So I hope that this video has been very, very helpful. Also, there's nothing much, you know, you don't have to get worried or FUD because right now a lot of this space is still very new. It's still not regulated. It's still unlicensed, and of course governments are still trying to find a way to regulate it. But in the meantime, guys, you know, invest what you are comfortable to lose. And don't forget, like I said, if you felt this video was helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and hope to see you again in our next video. And don't forget to click the notification button